Okay, hey guys. So just as a heads up, my daughter is playing Roblox, so you might hear her in the background. But I just wanted to do like a tiny little story time. I was actually kind of like inspired by some story time channels, some channels that does story times. Hold on, let me see if I can it's gonna have to do. So I wanted to do a story time basically explaining my whole situation, so that only because I had like a few days of quiet and then they started again. So now I'm going to go in depth with the whole situation, just so y'all can like get a full-blown understanding of what I'm talking about, what I was dealing with, peep the fit. Okay, so basically, to go into more detail, so it started out when I was younger. We moved around this area when I was about 3-4 years old. So when I moved around here, it was nice. It was an elderly neighborhood. It was nothing but like, elderly individuals that lived around here, their families, children, so on and so forth. So there was children that was around my age, children that was a little older than me, but we all kind of came together as kind of like a family on this in this neighborhood. Obviously, like I was kind of like an inside kid, excuse me. Okay, so basically from there, I was basically an inside kid. I didn't necessarily always want it to be outside with people, but that's mostly because my mom was very, strict. She didn't necessarily want, us to be around people that she wasn't comfortable with, hang around almost basically the same amount of people, the same people every day, every night. I started going to a school that was around my area. Same thing with my brothers. I have 3 older brothers, and they basically went into their schools. Area a little further out, but basically in the same predominant area. Everything was fine. Like, we got along with everyone in the neighborhood, and we kind of just like, was just cool with how it was. I grew older. I ended up going to one high school. That high school was basically pretty cool, but it was terrible in the whole situation of education wise. It was pretty terrible. Ended up having to transfer to another school, and yeah, so I transferred to that school. I ended up graduating from that school back in 2014. So when I graduated, the house in question was basically a drug house. Next door, basically the house that I'm talking about in this video, it was basically a drug house. Very dangerous, of course, but when you're in the hood, basically it's like, it is what it is, basically. Hope for the best, you pray that nothing happens. So it was like situations with them, but the most part, it wasn't much of an issue that we had with them. It was just like maybe noise from time to time, but it wasn't noise where it's like we couldn't go about our day-to-day lives. So it was totally fine. Everything was as it should be, really. Like, we still went about our lives. Like, we just minded our business. They did their thing, we did our thing. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't interrupt us, we didn't interrupt them, whatever. In time, they were respectful of us. They respected my mom so much that they made sure, like, whenever somebody did something they wasn't supposed to, like, my mom, she did not play. So it's like when it came to her property and stuff like that, she's just like, no, don't touch this, don't mess this up, get off my step, that type of stuff. That's how my mom was. Still is. Never changed. So it got to the point where I guess they were getting investigated, so they basically ended up condemning the house. So at some point, the house basically went up for auction. I didn't know until like I was a little bit older. People was just in there and was fixing up the place. So I'm like, oh, a family about to move in there. cool, you know, still gonna mind my business. That's just how it is. So they was fixing up the place. It was hella annoying because I was in college, and at that time I was just like, you know, like I just want to do what I have to do and not have to, you know, be kind of annoyed. Basically, I always had my class, had to get up at 6 a.m. to get to my class, and I was basically out of my classes by at least, I'm gonna say 3-4 p.m. No, I got out at 5. My friends got out at 3. I got out at 5 because I had an English class that lasted for 2 hours. So good thing was I was really good at English, writing, stuff like that, so fly by. To kind of get to the grips of it though, I ended up leaving college. Wasn't for me, wasn't for my friends. We did what we wanted to do, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't really want to stay there. So I'm kind of getting off track, but I'm trying to keep y'all on track, you know what I mean? So we basically was still figuring out our situations and whatnot. So we kind of went into our own separate lanes, but at the same time, we, you know, we're still close, very close. So we always hung out, threw little parties. I was the one that was throwing parties. People didn't really know how, my friends did not know how to, didn't know how to be organized, didn't know how to organize things, but I can't say anything because I'm terrible at organization, apparently. So I was told, so, but it's true, I'm pretty bad. So then that's when we started finding out, like years later though, that someone was moving in next door. So when they moved in, it was alright, I guess. They were like, you know, doing their thing or whatever, as usual. We're minding our business. But I'm gonna be honest, like, the way my neighborhood is, like I said, it was an elderly neighborhood before, like, as they started passing on, younger people started to move on the block, so it was kind of hell. To come in between though, I have to say, like, for 2 years straight since COVID, kids, adults alike were doing fireworks, no joke, every single day. Every day. Even when the sun was still out, they was doing fireworks. Like, it was hell. Hell, dude. So, again, my daughter's playing Roblox, so you'll hear her in the background. So, like I said, like, it was actually like, it was actually real life hell. Like, I was trying to like, trying to keep your sanity through all of that, and then at the same time there was riots going on around our area, which was also hell. So it's like we couldn't really do a lot. There wasn't much quiet, peace, or anything of that sort. Like, even with my family, they couldn't necessarily go out and do their jobs without worrying about their safety, basically. So we had to deal with that, but that was only for a short period of time. Fireworks, however, kept going throughout the summer, throughout even the coldest of days. They were still doing fireworks. Okay. All right. So we get to, like, I don't know what year. I'm gonna be real with you, like 2021, some point. The people move in next door. So they moved in 2021 at some point. And when they moved in, basically, again, we kind of minded our business. We didn't really care, but at the same time, because it used to be an elderly block, we kind of got the same thing as them, where we're newsy. We're like, oh, did you hear about them? Like, do you know who they are? My hair is like coming out of my braid. But, like, do you know about them? Do you know? You know, like, everybody was asking questions, of course, because that was a condemned house. That house at some point was a drug house. So, again, so they move in 2021, and you're probably annoyed from me repeating that. But, so then when they move in, oh my gosh, like, it was fine at first. But then, like, they started, like, arguments, and you can hear it through the walls. Mind you, we have thin walls. This is our old house. These are old houses. Okay, so these are very old houses. So I like unpack and all of that. So I'm getting ready for bed. I'm unpacking my clothes. I didn't even unpack everything. It just got to the point where half of my clothes was out, half of my clothes was in the suitcase. I put some of my clothes up and I just went to bed. So I go to bed. I wake up the next day, and you know, usually in the morning, like while my daughter is asleep, I'm basically getting ready to, you know, like for just to wake up. So I'm going in the kitchen, everything, getting some tea and some, you know, food, because this is just what I do in the morning to, you know, just have time for myself. You get me? So I think it was like, I'm gonna say like 11, 12 something, they start playing music. So I'm like, all right, I guess. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in my room. So I go in my room and I'm like, yeah, this is how this is. Because you can hear it not only downstairs but upstairs, in my room, in the bathroom, in the middle room, and in the back room. So I'm like, hell. So I'm like, all right. So I end up putting my headphones on for like a few hours or whatever. After a few hours, and when I say a few hours, I say 4 hours. I finally take them off because I was watching the anime, and then I started watching some old school movies, like She's All That and all that, you know, all the old school joints. So I'm like, all right, finally take my headphones off. It's quiet. So I'm like, okay. So I go into the bathroom, come back out, and I hear the music again. I'm like, okay, that means they paused it and turned it back on. So I'm like, all right. So I finally, you know, go through the whole day of listening to them play music, and at a certain time they did stop. So I was like, okay, great. So that means, you know, they know about noise ordinance, apparently. So then, like, I'm like, okay, my hands are tied, because it's not like they're playing after a certain amount of time. You know, after a certain time, you have to turn off the music. Otherwise, someone can report you for playing music after a certain amount of time, and you'll either be told to get it turned off, and if you don't, I guess you get in trouble. I don't know. And I get ready for bed. So I'm like, okay, this was not a peaceful day at all, because I had my music on, but it was just like, sometimes you don't feel like, you know, listening to music, because after like a few hours of watching anime and whatnot, I just turned my music on because they still, you know, was playing music. So I just went to bed after they, you know what I mean? So the next day, they didn't play anything at like 12 or 11. So I'm like, okay, it was probably just because they were getting unpacked and everything. Because I know when you're getting unpacked, you kind of just like, you know, getting yourself together, getting stuff unpacked, getting your house together. You know what I mean? Which is totally fine, totally understandable. Because I know for me, I'm not going to play music when I move. I'm more so going to, you know, listen to a podcast, watch a movie, because it's more white noise than blasting music and hearing bass all day. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the type that don't want to listen to music all day. I can't. Like, it's kind of annoying after a while. I get up. My daughter still sleeps, so I'm like, I'm gonna let her sleep in, because she was up basically listening to their music as well, and she, you know, was just trying to find peace through all the hell. So I let her sleep, and so I go downstairs for breakfast again. And when I go downstairs for breakfast, lunch, whatever, so I'm going down there to like eat or whatever. So I'm eating my food, And then eventually I start hearing like dum 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 dum, like, oh my god. Like, the thing about their music, and I have to pinpoint this, you know, when you know someone's listening to the same song or the same music or the same type of music styles constantly, is if the beats constantly sound the same, you know? Like, as a person that was, you know, used to sing all. So basically what I'm saying is some people will actually just like play the same type of music that sounds the same but won't have like any other music. So when I say, oh, their music sounds basically the same, it's me saying like they listen to the same type of artist, which is fine, but they don't listen to, you know, listen to some Paramore, listen to some Linkin Park, you know what I'm saying? Listen to some fuck Jid, listen to some you know, some different fucking artists. You know what the hell I'm talking about, you know? And we have like super thin walls. So that's why I was just like, okay, they're for sure playing the same songs. So they, again, playing music all day, but it got to the point I went in the basement just to hear what they were playing. So when you have bass coming through someone's house, most times it's just like they have it on the floor, so the bass is just going through people's houses, through their walls, through the floor, so you hear the vibration. I ended up going in the basement just to hear what the hell. And of course, I'm like, I knew that beat sound familiar, so I hear a Pop Smoke song, so I'm like, okay, they're constantly listening to the same songs, because it's like, or the same beat, or the same type of artist type. You know, when you hear like a trap song, they constantly kind of have the same, you know, like beat or instrumental or whatever. So it's like you kind of get a grasp of who they listen to. So it's almost like they listen to the same type of songs, just a different artist. You know what I mean? So that added to my annoyance. Non-creative, basically. If you're the type that listen to those types of songs, I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's like, you know, you gotta understand there's some type of annoyance eventually, especially if you're blasting it, that someone will probably be like, okay, what the hell? We hearing the same beat going through our damn house. Da-da-da-da-da-doom. Doom. Eventually, we're like, okay, come up with something new. I'm jumping forward because it's basically the same shit every day. This went on for 2 weeks. Okay? 2 weeks. Mind you, I just came back from my little trip. Okay, I just came back from my little trip. I have to come back to this for 2 weeks straight. So I'm like, all right, cool. This is what I'm dealing with. It is what it is, I guess. So tell me why. Mind you, this is going on 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. Yes, it's been that long. I told you I was going to give you an update video, basically explaining everything, if I didn't go live, because I didn't go live, so I ended up just being like, all right, I'm just going to make a video on it. And they have a party. They had the nerve to have a party.
Accessing fun. Ah, party.
After blasting music for 2 to 3 weeks straight. Are you freaking kidding me? So I'm sitting here like, okay, maybe I'm just an asshole, but for sure, you can't say they're not. So I did record a video of how loud the music is. So I may insert it. Probably not, because I got a new phone and all my videos are gone. But I might still have it. Because I did save a few things from my old phone onto here. But if I still have it, I'll have it like over here, or I'll just play it so y'all can hear how loud their music real life is every day. Just so y'all can hear it, because I have proof. I constantly have proof. I always say, don't mess with me, or people say don't mess with a Virgo, because a Virgo constantly have receipts for everything they do. Alright, bro. So I'm still dealing with this bullshit. You get what I'm saying? So I'm dealing with this. They have a party, bro. I'm trying to work because, again, my situation has not been that great, and still trying to figure out my life and stuff. Oh my God. And and so I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I don't know how to feel about this situation. Okay, so you see the little leaf? I have a leaf thing up there, and up here is like all my daughter's drawings. But up there is like a little leaf thing I have. But y'all, like, I was talking about it on social media. People were just like, oh, well, can't you just tell them to turn it down? No, they're not that type of people. Like, they know their music is loud. And there was a time where I literally said, can you please turn it down? And they did. You know what they did? Turn it up. So I was just like, wow. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Wow.
So I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? I realized, even with this party situation, also, mind you, my whole room smelled dank after that party, because my room is right above where they blast music. I should probably add that. So where they blast their music is right under my room. So I hear everything. I hear it worse than everyone else in the house. That's how bad it is. So I basically kind of just gave in to the fact that this is what I'm gonna have to deal with until I get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it's been hell from the last people that was in there to now. And I just said, F it when it came to just like working on my channel. Because if I can't get no quiet for work, I'm definitely not going to get quiet for recording a video for my channel. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. You know, it was one time, like, I was so fed up, I ended up just like looking for people to just talk to. I was talking to strangers like, oh my God, you're not gonna understand, but I'm gonna make you understand my situation right now. Like, it was just basically groups where you could talk to people about your situation and try to get insights, what you can do, how to deal with it, stuff like that. So I don't know if y'all ever had neighbors from hell, but I've been basically dealing with neighbors from hell for the past basically 4 years. Some people might be like, well, you're not going through them when the drug house. It's weird, but it wasn't bad when they were there. Oh my God. Like, it's making you feel like you lose faith in humanity more and more every day. Like, people just being you know, respectful human beings, you know what I mean? And they basically stopped for like 2 days. I don't know if like they had like a epiphany or something, but no, I doubt it, because they're playing again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, child, I don't know what to do. I turned to my social media. A lot of people are saying like, yeah, you're just gonna have to move, so, which I understand. I know some people did say like, kind of agreed with me, like, you shouldn't have to move because people want to be disrespectful. Like, yeah, I understand that too, but I'm just like, you can't make someone change. They have to change themselves. They have to understand what they do as a human being, as an individual. And if they don't see it, or they don't care to see it, or they do see it but they don't care how you feel, then it's just going to get to the point where you either just deal or you don't, and just change the situation. And that's basically what I will have to do, change my situation. Like, I don't know what more I can really say on the situation. Quite honestly, all I can really do is just leave. I mostly just wanted to talk about it because I know I'd be up and disappearing, and people just be like, well, what happened? Like, you were consistent, then suddenly you're not, you know? And I have to talk about it, you know? And then when you're going through anything, like, I know this has zero, connection to my depression and anxiety, even though kinda, sorta, where you're just like, if I wasn't going through what I was going through, I would have been fixed myself. But that's just me coming up with excuses, quite honestly. I wouldn't be in this situation if I didn't keep making excuses. And I know depression and anxiety isn't an excuse. It's actually real life an issue for me and for others. And I kind of just shut down when I'm dealing with something. I can't ever talk to someone about it because I always feel like I'm bothering someone with my situations. And it's just, I don't know. Like, even with my friends, like, I feel like when I'm talking their ear off about my situations, it almost feels like I'm bothering them, or they don't want to hear it. Like, it's just what it comes off as, but it's probably just me. But, like, I just been dealing with this for so long, and I know, quite honestly, someone will probably be like, well, it's time for you to make a change, girl. And you're absolutely right. You can't change how people are. All you can do is change your location, change your situation, and change the way you look at anything. And the way I seen it was, people can change. Maybe eventually they'll see what they do is very disrespectful. But, you know, I obviously was very much wrong. You know, like, not everyone will change because you said they'll change. I mean, you know, like, it's just, you kind of have a belief and, like, faith that people really can change. The way my everything is, you know, like, and I know there's probably people in the same situation as me, my age, trying to make it out, trying to get better at prioritizing what's really important so that you can, you know. And I do that, and a lot of people do that, where you do prioritize what's important, but there's always obstacles. Even with my at-home jobs, it's like, I've been looking for at-home jobs that doesn't involve being on the phone, because of the fact that I've been dealing with this for years. And it's not just one individual, it's different individuals that do it. And it boggles my mind that every next person that goes in that house, is almost like something's genuinely in the water. Every next person that goes in that house blasts music. It's like the first thing they do. It's almost like instinct. You know what I mean? And Lord knows, like, you don't want to be that person, like, they're so annoying, you know? But it's like, when you're constantly dealing with that, and that's the main thing you deal with, especially for years since you've been a teenager, well, a kid, really, into teenagehood, into adulthood, you're just like, wow, like, is this basically what I have to get used to? You know what I mean? But even when I leave, I still think about, like, you know, my mother. My mother has to deal with this. You know, when my daughter comes to visit, she has to deal with this, you know? And it kind of goes to a point where you're just like, damn, I wish I kind of just, like, could get all of us out of this situation. Because at the end of the day, you're still in a hood, where you either get a genuinely great neighbor or you get a genuinely terrible neighbor, you know? And we just got dealt a terrible hand of cards. So, I don't know. Like, even today, we tried to be a little nice. Swept their side outside the house, swept our side. You know, just, you know, being neighborly for the most part, I guess. But I guess it's all up to the person to just grow up or think about the next person, you know. I'm sorry if I keep looking over here, like I keep getting text messages. But it is what it is. But that is the update. I did want to tell y'all exactly how it was. I just want to throw in there, even during the hiatus where it was actually pretty quiet next door, there was actually a lady 3 doors down that was doing exactly the same thing as them, blasting music, even during cold weathers, having her window open, blasting music. And I'm just like, it has to be something in the water. I don't know what water, because we all wash in the same damn water around here. I don't know. But I'm just like, something gots to give. And if you're one of those neighbors that literally blast music, does like insufferable shit where you know for sure you're bothering someone next door, please stop. Or at least ask them like, hey, is my music bothering you? Or hey, is there anything I can do to make us, you know, have a full, you know, a full understanding of each other, stuff like that, our situation, you know what I mean? Just individuals. Maybe it's just me, but that's just how it is for me personally. That's what I would do if I was the type of person to blast music every day, you know? But hey, one day all of us might have mansions up in the mountain. Who knows? And we won't have to deal with being next door to someone that's insufferable. Lord have mercy. Like, I don't know what to do. I do journal to try to like, please. Like, I know, like, I just like, please just make my situation easier, please, you know. But it's all up to the people that are around you. And if you are dealing with that situation, do better than me and actually get out the situation immediately. I waited too late in the game to try to change my situation. And that's not what you do. When it starts, that's when you start. Get out. So don't leave yourself in a situation where you're uncomfortable, a situation where you feel like this ain't for me, because everyone deserves better. Especially if you are one of those people that know your worth, know what you want for yourself, you know. So that's my video. I just wanted to do that. Go into more detail because I know I was pretty vague in that 11-minute video. So I wanted to make a like an hour or so video basically talking about the whole situation, so it didn't seem like I was just being like Karen, you know. But I'm not that person. I just genuinely don't like noise. I don't like people that constantly does things to annoy others on purpose, because they do it on purpose. They already know that it annoys us, but they just do it on purpose. But again, I'm gonna place the video somewhere in the video so you can see what I'm talking about and how loud it is. Like, that's why you should always have proof, fam. Like, always have proof so people don't think that you lying, and you know. But what can you do? So that's my video. Because of everything, I really thought about it, and I was actually thinking about trying to make a video tomorrow. And you know, people that have messaged me on Instagram, I really appreciate it, basically checking in on me. I'm fine. For everyone that is interested in the Red Dead Revolver videos, or interested in Kuon, and interested in Mass Effect, and interested in Second Life, I will be getting back to those, so don't worry. I will get back into those videos. I know, it's been a long time, so I will get back into those. About the Raven, I don't know, Ray. I like it. I might finish it. I definitely didn't touch it since I recorded the first video, just in case I wanted to finish it with you guys or live stream it. So there's that. So thanks for watching. I hope this was kind of insightful for those going through the same situation. And I hope you understand now what I mean. Again, I will have a proof video so y'all can see how bad it is. Even with my, oh, mind you, my window is closed. Even in the video I show you, the window is closed. And you'll still hear it. So, alright, y'all. Don't be anybody's headache. Please don't blast music when you are literally attached to someone else's home and you have a large ass system, stereo system that's up on a damn wall or something on the floor where everyone can feel it, hear it, and don't want to. Be good, people, and breathe. Love ya. You are loved. See you next time.